Hi, Shower on. How are you? I look pale. I have no makeup on. I just got in the shower. But we are going to do our special prayer. I promised you. I haven't forgot. I'm going to work. I was rock bottom for a while after my grandma passed. And I hope you guys understand that I loved my grandma dearly. We just had like a really special bond. And even my other grandmother, she knew that she was going to see me the last time at my sister's wedding. And she told me, she says, give me a hug. This is the last time I'm going to see you. She knows things like, she knew she was sick and she wasn't feeling well. And she came all the way on an airplane for my sister's wedding. So it was like she knew, like in her heart, because we were so far away that I don't get to go to Texas all the time. But I've spent a lot of time with my grandma, Rafaela. I've spent a lot of time with her in Texas. Isn't this cute? This is another little cheap idea you could do for yourself. I made this myself. All you do is get the braidable hair, like any kind you want. And I don't know, I made like a little ponytail hole for it, and I wrapped it around and braided it myself. It's purple and pink. It's not mixed with my hair. It's just purple and pink. And I don't know if I don't think it has any black in it. No, it's just purple and pink. So it looks kind of dark purple. It looks like it's mixed with my hair, but it's not. You could even do that. You could mix the braidable hair that your hairstylist does, like when she braids your hair in. You could braid it in with your own hair. And there's ways of doing that. I've done that before with like a string. Like say if I'm wearing turquoise and I want my hair to match, I'll braid a turquoise ribbon. You just get ribbons like at Walmart, where they have like ribbons, different colors, like for Christmas. Like one year, me and Janie, sorry, I was eating some bacon. I felt like I was biting my tongue. I got into it today with my cousin. I was just like, dude, just keep the TV down. I'm trying to sleep as long as I can because I have to go in a little early, like 2 hours early today. And my phone wouldn't charge. So then we cussed each other out. I was like, you're the one that's raising my blood pressure. Like, because I don't need to argue with you guys. If I say something, just do it, out of respect. If I say, can you turn that down? Like Akeem always is really respectful. And I was like, well, he's going to get unlimited rides in my car when I get my car fixed. Because he's watching my dog for me. I didn't hire Saren to watch my dog. I hired Akeem to do it because he gets along with my dog. And he doesn't, I don't know. He just has a little click with my dog. They're they're friends. So anyway, I've been working a lot. Not a lot, but I called out sick one night because I couldn't get out of bed because I had high blood pressure. So they're affecting my income even. People that are on drugs will bring you down emotionally, like spiritually or financially, and I got to guard my peace and I got to guard everything and pray and not get in a hateful spirit because that's what the devil wants. He wants you to cuss somebody out and so he can laugh at you, so he can get his little foot in the door and use those people against you, like use people that are not, trying to have the Holy Spirit. That's why we're going to pray later tonight when I get to work, because my job, like right now, we're not doing any hard manual labor. And I saw some people picking up like trash and debris, and that's what I did when I was in Texas. But I feel like, God's letting me know, like, I have promoted you. You were picking up trash, you were doing manual labor, and I have promoted you, my child, because you have overcome a certain amount of things. You have trampled on the scorpion and the snake. And even when you did sin, you repented of it and you were godly sorrow. Like if you have godly sorrow for things, when people are stressing you out, God understands that because he knows your heart. He knows you normally wouldn't get high with somebody, or you normally wouldn't just take advantage of the opportunity to have sex or whatever. But the devil does that. He likes to put little obstacles in your path to make you feel like, guilty. And you don't have to feel guilty. You just call out the scriptures. You say, sin cannot separate me from the love of God. God still loves me. God's still going to bless me. Just like my song that I wrote, that I'll post it. I don't know if I could repost that song somehow, but I could post it on my Facebook channel, Michelle Zaldivar. the one that I wrote called You're Blessing Me Through It All. And that's what you have to realize, is that we're not perfect, but through it all, he's still blessing you. He shines on the just and the unjust. But at the end of the day, we do have to remember that to be humble and grateful is what God asks us to do, and not to be proudful or egotistical or arrogant. And, like even my son, hi baby, oh, he goes, you okay? I was sleeping, my son. He's like, yeah, pride goes before the fall. If you're too prideful and arrogant, it goes before the fall. He knows his Bible scriptures, my little angel, and I wouldn't worry about, like if anything happened to any of my children, I wouldn't worry about them, because I know that my children love the Lord. Even Desiree loves the Lord very much. I raised them all in the church, and Jessica knows some of the stuff about Armageddon that she even taught me, because she was really adamant going to those church classes. I was never forcing them. They just went when they were little. But anyway, long story short, don't let people stress you out. Like, just stay in your lane as much as you can, or try to help them. Like, if you see them having an issue, that's why I was kind of upset with people that are in the healthcare industry. That some of them don't have any empathy. They're just trying to one-up you or act like they're better than you. And if any of those kind of people are watching, you would get a lot more kindness, and you would get a lot more results, like as far as like blessings or just favor from God, if you were more patient or empathetic to others. Because like, I have a friend that's a bartender, and this lady that I was like, oh, I don't want to tell you my problems, like, because I was like rambling about, I was stuck on this bus on this street for like three buses later, and they never came. And I had my bladder was exploding. I was like, oh my God, like I was calling people, nobody listened, nobody answered. And I go, I don't want to tell you my problems, but oh my God, I damn near like my bladder. So she was like, it's okay, I'm a therapist. Like, so she's a bartender. That's what they do. Like, and if you're in the healthcare industry, any kind of healthcare industry, you should understand that people are going out, reaching out to these places and paying more money, maybe even a tanning salon, because maybe somebody told them that they're too white, or they feel bad about themselves because they are white and they wish their skin was like olive color. Like, I have olive color skin, but I still can get reddish color. So I would like to even go in a tanning salon, but I don't want somebody to tell me, oh, why are you here? You look good. Or, I want them to tell me I look good, but not to be empathetic. Like, oh yeah, we all could use a tan, like encourage them, because they're paying the money because they do want to feel like they're going to look better. They don't feel like they look good. So tell them that, because that's what customer service is. It's like, you're going to lose a customer by being weird to them, is what I'm saying. Like, to the people that are in the healthcare industry, you're going to get more customers. You're going to get referral based. Like, oh, because you don't even know why you're paying for these services, but that's their job, to sell you the services, and they can feel good about themselves. Like, oh yeah, I got so dark at this tanning salon, and they're just at a party, and they're paying good money, whether they have it or not, it doesn't matter. They feel good about themselves, that they can afford something that makes them feel better. Like, my daughter gets plastic surgery and stuff, and I don't think she ever needed it. Just like Michael Jackson never needed it, so. Anyway, I'm going to go, because I got pissed off at her the other day. She verbally abuses me, and it's like, because she saw my husband do it. So I went off on her, and I'm not going to repeat what I said, because it was mean, but she's been mean to me even when I came out here in the winter, she left me in the streets. And I talked to this one mother, and she goes, oh no, my kids give me money. They fly me places. I stay at their house. Like, I'm a queen. I'm their mother. Like, and I just felt so bad that my kids, I love Jared. Jared would treat me like a queen, but he has responsibilities. He does treat me like I'm a queen. He doesn't want nothing to happen to me. But Jessica doesn't know that she really deeply hurts me when she verbally abuses me. Just like if I verbally abused her, you know, I will try to make it up to her in some kind of way because I know how it feels to be abused, to be called a dumb idiot or like feel stupid that you can't find the tool in the tool shed, you know, like go get that. You know, at first it's like, Mija, go get this. And then it's like, you fucking idiot, you can't even find it. And they get mad at you and you feel like a dummy. So anyway, that's just a little conversation for people that have been abused, okay? And you do want to feel good about yourself, so you might even pay more. Like I was paying for the personal training after a while just because I enjoyed my friend's company. I thought he was my friend, you know, but he kind of like was getting to the point of like, if I couldn't make it, he was taking it personal, like that I didn't want to spend time with him when I really did, but I was stuck somewhere, you know, and I try to reiterate, like, you know, I'm on the bus, okay? You have a car. You can get to the laundromat or wherever you're going in 5 minutes. I cannot. So if I'm at a store and I get stuck there, you need to like work with me and be a little more pleasant when I come see you because I'm on a bus, okay? I got in a car crash. I don't have mobility of my arm the way I did. I have neck problems. I'm paying good money to feel good about myself. So if I send you a picture that I got a makeover, that I'm happy I'm training because I'm losing weight, don't take it like I'm hitting on you because I'm not. Because if I was hitting on you, you would know it. You would definitely know it. And I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't beat around the bush. I'll be like, yeah, I would text him something like, you know, my boyfriend's an asshole, so I'm going through a hard time. I would like try to get under his skin. And I'm naive in trying to do that. I don't try to put my personal life out there in a way that I'm trying to hit on somebody. Because I told him, stop what? Because he's told me to stop because I sent him a picture. I said, told me to stop. I said, okay, well, stop what? I said, I was just happy that I got a makeover and I was just showing you. Again, at the time, my boyfriend was over, you know, and he was being worthless that day. I was like, get out of here. You know, I wasn't even into him at that point because he's done so many fucked up things to me that I couldn't even get into the SDX. And I was just like, okay, get away from me. Like, you got what you wanted, just leave me alone. I can't get into it anymore if I don't feel like he loves me. Like, and he doesn't make me feel special. So I was just like, dude, just bye, see ya. I threw his shirt at him next time I saw him because I was like, you know what, you're just impossible. Because like he complained about giving me $2, but he did give me a ride to work that day. But I said, how am I going to get home? I need bus money. Like when he needed money, I would help him and I would give him rides places further away than he gave me $2 one time. And I told my daughter, I was like, can you believe he drove me all the way to Green Valley and he threw $2 at me and laughed at me? So he's just an asshole. You know, some people are just assholes and they're never going to change. They're never going to learn and they're going to still be the same way. So this is a valuable learning lesson, even for my men subscribers that I love dearly, and I will give you any dating advice you need. Hit me up on iprogressing0810@gmail.com. They're already shooting off the fireworks, guys. Happy New Year. Let's call this our Happy New Year chat because we're going to go into the new year with more positive vibes. And if we're in the healthcare industry or a professional setting, we're going to be more empathetic and we're going to get more customers than we had before because we're going to have God's favor on us. And we're going to ask, you know, questions like, are you feeling okay? You know, because I heard you broke up with your boyfriend and I just want to make sure you're okay. And if you need a friend, even if it's at 3 a.m, text me. And when I wake up, you know, I will hit you up. Like, just everybody needs to get more empathy. If everybody had more empathy in the world, there would be less suicides. There would be less arguments, less letting the devil in our house by being mad at somebody. Like, if I get mad at my cousin, I always tell him, you know, I love you and I'm only doing this because I care. Like, I only give them advice to help them. Like, you know, if your mom would have let you stay in the room the whole time, there wouldn't have been no problem because Joy said she doesn't want people camping out in the living room. We had like 3 people camping out in the living room when she came over. And the lady that Heidi brought was like really dysfunctional. He couldn't take care of himself. He was on drugs. He was bringing other people drugs, bringing the house down, eating other people's food without asking. And I told him, you know what, I'll share anything. But if I am on foot, I can't share as much as I want. So if I buy like spaghetti and meatballs and I share them with you, you know, then that's love, you know. But I'm saying I love spaghetti and meatballs. They have high protein. Look at the label. No, but anyway, I just wanted to give you some inspiration for the new year. I don't try to talk a lot, but I do say things that are gonna help you in whatever you do in life, because I am gifted of God, and you have to know that I am called of God to do this. I would never in 3 million years think that I would be on a YouTube channel telling people advice, because I have a lot of knowledge and I've had past experiences. But as I was saying was, if you do get into it with somebody, because the holiday, you could be in the store and somebody could be acting bitchy and you might want to say something bitchy back. But, just try to hold your tongue and just say, well, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And I know it's stressful because everybody's pulling out, all this stuff, and you got the last sweater, but you know what? I just want you to have a blessed holiday, because I really do care about you guys, and I really do care about myself, and I care about the healthcare industry and the people that are in the hospitality industry. That's food serving. And this guy was rude to me in a line at my daughter's hospital. I said something about, I don't know what it was, but I was trying to get my daughter some food or whatever. I don't know what it was, but he was very rude. I go, you know what? These people shouldn't even be in the hospitality industry, because you're serving food, dude. People are going to be scared that you're going to, put some poison in there. If you have a bad attitude and you're serving my food, I'll just be like, well, have a blessed day. I hope your day gets better, because obviously you don't like your job or you had a bad day. You should never show your ass at your job. It's okay to be nice, and it's okay to tell them, I'm sorry. I had, because when I called out, I apologized. I said, I'm sorry, guys. I had a bad day. I said I didn't even know I was sick. I had a high blood pressure, because these people they're not just these people. They are related to my husband, and that's fine. I don't mind helping anybody. I love everybody, and I've been known a long time. They helped me one time. I helped them, but it was I helped them. I feel like I've helped them more, but I don't care. I'm not keeping score. So I just feel can you just give me a little appreciation for trying to help you guys, even though I know that I didn't even know that Aunt Heidi was on drugs, and it seems like she's still on them, but I can't even judge people like that, because that's not my place. My place is to be a child of God, and I've moved around a lot. So what's one more packing my bag and uprooting going to do for me? It's not, because maybe God wants me to go somewhere else, because I'm surrounded by crystal meth junkies for the past 2 or 3 apartments since I lived in Vegas, and it's been a nightmare for me, only because God called me to that ministry to help people, and I did. And even Andre came up to me and gave me a big hug. I brought some food home for them because I was going out of town, and he goes, you know what, Michelle? He goes, you're an angel. He goes, I added up all the bad that you do and all the good. And he goes, and the good outweighed the bad. And he said, that's why I love you. And he told me that from his heart, and he was struggling with a really bad heroin addiction. And we tried to get him into a hospital, but they sent him home. So they don't really care about rehabilitating people as much as they should. And that's what we should pray for, is that the medical professionals should care a little bit more about the people that are struggling with addictions, and not just release them right away. They should try to reach out and say, hey, why don't you go to this program, or that program. They have resources, but they didn't even give my cousin any resources when I called for him. And, so it's just not fair, But we will pray about things on our special prayer. I might do it at my job, because like I said, right now there's just a bunch of mess and they're building stuff, and we don't have to do anything but sit there, and it gets so boring. We doze off and stuff. We're not supposed to at our job. So I wake up when I see people, when they're walking around, I wake up, I just doze off for a minute, and I'm like, oh, I'm not asleep. And they're like, okay. No, but it's fun. Because they understand if you're working a graveyard shift, your body has to get used to it. And I have a medical condition that makes me doze off. So I told one of the supervisors or whatever, I was like, my medical condition, it sometimes makes me doze off, but it's not because I'm not getting enough rest or anything. But my lack of oxygen from gaining too much weight over Christmas, and I could have probably referred more people to the gym had somebody been a little more empathetic to my situation, that I have anxiety really bad. I mean, Julio was lovely. He was like he's really good for his profession. That's why they made him a manager. And that's how you get promoted, honestly. You don't get promoted by having confrontational episodes with people or trying to have a power trip against a customer, because it's like the customer is always right in the long run, but I think that people will see that, if somebody was just on some kind of power trip or whatever, people will see through that if you're a really genuine person and you just are really trying to lose weight, I mean, and if, I could tell when someone likes me. I know he still likes me and I like him. He's just trying to give me a hard time, like, about something that I don't know what. Actually, he never conversates as much as he should. Like, he could have said, well, I felt disrespected because when you finally got rid of your bad roommates, you were being more punctual. But I said, well, you need to like sit people down and say, we have rules here to not pressure the clients that they have to come when they're supposed to. So I can't make you come. But I, as a personal trainer, have a three no-show rule that I will try to get you a different trainer if you don't show up to my sessions, because that's taking, food out of my mouth. Like I'm saying, people that don't know how to communicate, and I'm getting a communication degree. You have to learn a proper way of communicating if you're working with people. Okay. So, because everybody at my job loves me, and I am a F up sometimes. I'm going to be honest. And I even joke about it. I'm like, okay, I joke about me being an F up because I know I have fucked up sometimes, but I admit to it in a funny way. Like, okay, here comes I was like, yeah, they know I'm fuck up. Here I come. No, but I'm not a fuck up as far as like being considerate that if somebody calls out and they're shorthanded, I will go in. And somebody, I guess, wanted to change their schedule the other day, and I offered to do it to make up the hours I missed, because I really didn't want to miss work. That's letting them know that I didn't want to miss work. I was sick that day. My blood pressure was high. And as you get older, you're going to have certain things come up, like you might have a foot injury, or because I walk a lot and I have to take care of my feet, and I got to get my toenails done soon, and I can't do anything until they put my benefits back on. I can't spoil myself like I used to unless I was to work day and night, and I don't want to have a lot of health problems that I have to sue them for cutting me off. And I told them that. I was like, well, you're violating an ADA law violation because I'm medically disabled and you got all the documentation in your office and you're not putting my checks back on. So the longer you wait, something could happen to me, and then boom, like the other day, I tripped at work over this big log. They're making like a forest where I'm at, like the trees, and then they had a log cabin, and my friend goes, I'm going to go in there. I was just like, because it was cold, they had the freight doors open. I was laughing. I was like, yeah, this is cool. We could just pretend we're in a log cabin. It was funny. I mean, we do have fun at work. I just don't feel like I was ready all the way, because like I wasn't like looking where I was going, and some little thing sticking out, I fell right over it, and she was standing there watching me. I said, did you see? I go, I fall all the time. It's nothing. Like my kids tease me, and they're like, Mom, it's just like that show, like I've fallen and I can't get up. It's like, that's how I felt the other day when I was sick. When he said I had high blood pressure, I really felt sick. I couldn't get out of bed. I was so drained emotionally. I haven't been to work in forever, and I was drained. I haven't done a graveyard shift in forever. I actually used to do graveyard, and they, kind of dinged me on it when I was in the healthcare industry, because I didn't know I had sleep apnea then, but it's a hire and fire state. They could hire you and fire you in the same week for nothing, for absolutely nothing. So if you don't have a good spirit about you, or if you're rude to people, or if you cuss out your manager, like one day my son made me upset, and I did. I cussed out my manager because I mean, being a single parent is hard. You don't have, my friend Jimmy cried one time, because he's like, wow, he's like, if I would have known it was this hard. Can you imagine raising a kid by yourself, let alone 2 or 3 or 4, all by yourself? It's not an easy job. It's the hardest job in the world. And keeping the house clean when they throw a big bomb in your house, like with all kinds of stuff everywhere. And it's like, yeah, it's really hard. But I got to go, guys. I got to get on the bus. I got to walk. I don't know which way I'm going today to get there, but I think I'm going to just take Charleston. That's the safest route. And I'll just go for a 20-minute walk up the street. And that's how I get my cardio in lately if I can't go to the gym. But tomorrow is church. I hope today's only Saturday and not Sunday, but I don't even know if they're going to have church. So I have to find out. And Joy didn't answer me when I said, can you come get me for church? So I'm trying to figure that one out, if there is even church, if I should. I'll probably talk to her before church, but we are going to have a Gospel Sunday just in case. And that's going to be that special prayer. And if I can find a church that's open on New Year's Eve, which I should go to California. We have fun in California at Apostolic Power. All right, stay blessed. I hope this was helpful to any of you that need a little pick-me-up pep talk about how to get God's favor. And if you do have an argument with a family member or a friend or even a coworker, go out of your way to say, you know what, I love you, and let's just bury the hatchet. Because I do try to make peace with people, whether they want to make peace with me or not. If they're holding a grudge against you for some reason, it's just like, that's their issue that they have to deal with God, because you're supposed to forgive people so that God can forgive you. So I try my best to forgive people. I get mad at them. I get mad at my mom. I've, had fights with my mom, fist fights, cuss fights, and we are still together as a family. But, people have to realize that, if you're at the end of your rope with somebody because you feel like they should have did something, but, only God knows why they wouldn't do it. But that's not really between you and them. It's between God and them. Just like I tell my daughter, I was like, well, I've tried to make amends for giving away your pit bull that she paid $100 for. And she said, I'm never going to forgive you. And I gave her another couple of dogs afterwards to make up for it. And I did apologize. But I had a lot of people in my ear telling me stuff like, oh, pit bulls are dangerous for kids. And I've never owned a pit bull. So I didn't know what to think. Everybody was in my ear about, oh, get rid of the dog, get rid of the dog. I was like, why? It's her dog. But when she didn't come home, and I was worried about her, and then people were saying, well, get rid of it as a punishment. It's like, I don't know, maybe it was the best thing for her, because she would have been stuck with a dog, and maybe she wouldn't have even went to college. She would have just been babysitting a dog all day long. So I look at it like, what? It was a godsend, because God wanted her to be successful so she could help her family members. She wouldn't have that big house to help her sisters. I wouldn't have been able to even help my kids, because I was living in a weekly suite getting kicked out and all kinds of stuff because of all the bad roommates that I've had. I don't like roommates. I like living on my own. And if they give me my benefits back, I'm going to get my own place and try to just work part-time and not go over any amounts that I'm not supposed to go over. So just pray for me, Michelle Ramon. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for all my Christian members and my other family members on there, and my non-Christian family that's just trying to get to know God. I really hope I can help you get to know God in a down-to-earth way, like where nobody's pressuring you, and where you know that God loves you no matter what, that you could go to him at any time. And he's always there for you, because he said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. And that's his promise. So you could say that every day, and that will fight the devil. Because anything you say to God, or anything you pray, like a Bible scripture, like, because I used to walk through North Las Vegas at night, and it's very scary. You could get mugged or killed or stabbed. There's a lot of creepy people, murderers. And I would be like saying that prayer, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table in the presence of my enemies. My cup runneth over. and it says, and I will, something like, I will praise you all the days of my life, or something like that. Like, I don't know the whole, I used to know that scripture a lot, but I would always say that one thing, like, if you're scared and you're in a dark alley, you never know. You could run into a flat tire and you're on the freeway with, like, murderers could be driving by you or something, and they'd be like, oh, ha, 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 like, and just say that prayer, like, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and get a big crowbar at the same time so that you could beat the shit out of it. All right, I love you. Like, share, and subscribe, Michelle Ramon. Let's be positive. Let's get on fire for the Lord. Let's not cuss, because cussing is bad. Forgive me, Jesus. My hair fell out when I got a bad weave, and I ripped it out. I should have had a professional take it out, but it was just like, yeah. Weaves happen. And I could see my girlfriend, my best friend, Takina, I hope she gets this YouTube. I could see her saying, oh my God. And I could hear her saying, like, in her head, like, man, her hair is going to get ripped out. Like, she just went to a random person, because she knows how to do weaves really good. And she's a braid specialist, and she's from Oakland. Oakland's in the house. And I was just like, I could hear her saying that in the back of her mind, just like, I'm not a cat person. And I had got some cats one time, and my cat lived a couple years. But in the back of Jesse's mind, because I'm more of a dog person, in the back of Jesse's mind, I could hear him saying, like, to that cat's not gonna last. Like, she's not a cat person. Like, there's cat people and there's dog people. And I knew nothing about raising a cat. And it was a long story as to what happened to my cat. My friend convinced me to take my cat to the pound, and God forgive me. And I cried for a long time, because I had that cat for like a year. It was old and everything. It had kittens and everything, but it was like, it was getting sick and I didn't know what to do with it. And then he convinced me to take it to the shelter, but I didn't want to take it to the shelter. So I was just like, I guess I was stupid. I didn't know what to do. I was like, I thought they would find it a home. And at the time, I didn't know. I thought they did adopt these pets out. I didn't know that they would just kill them. And they're like, no, your cat's going to die. I was like, my cat's going to die. When I found out, I called the shelter. I was like, where's my cat? Like, Tiger was her name, and blah, blah, blah. Like, did anybody adopt her? And so, oh no, she got kennel cough and she died. And so I was like, oh my God. Like, I just couldn't take it, because I didn't know. I really didn't know. I was just like blindly taking my cat there, thinking that somebody would adopt my cat. And I was calling all my friends. I called like 3 or 4 friends. I was like, can you adopt my cat? Okay, I really love you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. There's things that we don't know, and God doesn't hold them against us. And our pets love us to death. Even in death, they love us. And I know that Tiger loved me even when she went to heaven, because she had a long life, though. She was an older cat. She had kittens and everything. But I didn't know what to do with all these kittens either. And I think I gave the kittens away when they were too little. I didn't know I've never, experienced. I didn't know you're supposed to, like, bottle feed them, or they were nursing, though. I think that they got enough nutrition when I did give them away, because I don't want to be like that evil to do that to a cat. But I never nursed them and everything. But I didn't know nothing about cats, or if the shelter would give her away, because they did find a home for one of my puppies that I had to give away because it was too much of a responsibility when I was going to school. And that's the thing. If you're a student or you're trying to go to school, you don't get any animals right now. Wait till you graduate and then get an animal, and that you can be successful and have enough money to board it if you have to fly somewhere, or if you have really good friends that'll watch your animals, because it's going to be hard. And I was a student, and I've been a student. I haven't graduated yet because of learning disabilities and everything. So anyway, what I was going to say was that the song came on, and I know you guys are going to really feel sorry for me, because when that song came on, I did cry, because I really missed Tiger. And it was like, you're still my sunshine. Like, so I knew it was her from the grave. I really did. I was like on the phone with some animal place, and that song was on, and it was like, you're still my sunshine. And animals love you unconditionally, and even if they have to pass away, or if you have to put them down for some reason, because she was getting really sick after she had her kittens, and she was like smearing poop all over the glass, and she was like afraid of her shadow. She would see herself, and she would get really scared, and I don't know, maybe she just knew she was gonna die. I don't know. It was just really weird. I didn't want to kill my cat that was like, it's just that this guy that I was dating was kind of like no good for me, and he was like, I guess trying to make me suffer or whatever. Because like I didn't want to have his children, I aborted them, which is another thing that you could get very depressed from abortions. It's because his friend robbed me, and my family was like, "No, you're not having his babies because his friend robbed you, so he's going to be robbing you if you do marry him or have any kids with him." So they were not going to let me have any of his kids. Like no matter so the last set of kids was twins, and I cried over that because I was like, I've never had twins, and so I didn't want to abort them when I found out they were twins. So I called my brother. I was like, bro, I was like, it's twins. I can't do this. I'm not a child murderer. I don't do abortions. And then I don't want to say anything bad about my family, like that they think they're murderers, but he was like, I don't care what it is, you're going to get it done. Because when people have mental illness and they try to take on a lot of responsibility, have all these kids, it's too much for them. Like, I don't want to be Octomom or whatever. It's too much because like even a friend of mine, he wanted this girl to have his baby, but he was mentally ill and he was not going to be able to take care of his own baby. So his family told the girl to get rid of it, or he got rid of it some kind of way. I don't know, like they went and paid for it or whatever, or she paid for it herself. See, he couldn't even get an abortion. He's not responsible. All he wanted to do was drink. And when I was with him, he wasn't responsible either. Like his family was feeding me when I went to visit him out of his money, but they knew I was a good person, that I was his caregiver and I would help him and I would feed him when I had money, and and that he needed someone to keep him company, and we would go, they would drop us off at the movies and we would go to the movies together because he needed a friend, and he didn't have a lot of friends, because he would like push people away, because a lot of times when you are mentally ill, you're going to push people away because you don't know how to deal with people. So I pushed Christian away because I cussed him out and said a bunch of mean things to him, like that song. Cher, turning into Cher. Okay, I'll let you guys go. I love you. Like, share, and subscribe. You guys turn into Cher and share my videos. Okay, bye.